Veteran Russian rights activist Oleg Orlov was sentenced to 2.5 years in prison on Tuesday for discrediting the armed forces by protesting against the war in Ukraine and accusing President Vladimir Putin of leading a descent into fascism. Orlov, a leader of the rights group Memorial that won a share of the Nobel Peace Prize in 2022, was charged after taking part in anti-war demonstrations and writing an article entitled, "They wanted fascism, they got it." The verdict showed that my article was accurate and true, Orlov, 70, said as he was led away in handcuffs after being sentenced. He was applauded by supporters in the Moscow courtroom, including representatives from Western embassies.
We
live in the 21st century. Those guys are going backwards to the 20th, 17th and even 16th. Unfortunately, they are dragging our country with them, but we will win anyway. Memorial, founded in 1989, has defended freedom of speech and documented human rights abuses from the time of Soviet leader Joseph Stalin up until the present. After being designated as a foreign agent, it was banned and dissolved in Russia in 2021. The prosecution said Orlov had shown political hatred of Russia. In his closing remarks to the trial on Monday, he decried the strangulation of freedom in the country which he referred to as a dystopia. Memorial said in a statement, "The sentence against Oleg Orlov is an attempt to drown out the voice of the human rights movement in Russia and any criticism of the state. But we will continue our work." It said Orlov was a genuine Russian patriot. However, in modern Russia, everything is turned on its head. War is peace, calls for peace are a crime, and a warning that the state cultivates violence is a hate crime. Orlov was charged under laws passed shortly after the start of the Ukraine war that prescribed prison terms for those found guilty of discrediting the armed forces or spreading false information about them. Putin has urged Russians to show unity and look out for what he calls pro-Western traitors, as his forces conduct what he calls a special military operation in Ukraine. His critics say the banning of Memorial, which rose to prominence by documenting Stalinist crimes and working to rehabilitate their victims, is part of a wider effort to stamp out dissent and rewrite the country's history. Putin's leading critics are all in prison or abroad. His best-known opponent, Alexei Navalny, died suddenly in a penal colony on the 16th of February. Orlov was initially fined 150,000 rubles, that's $1,628, by a district court last year, but a retrial was ordered after he appealed and prosecutors asked for a jail sentence. His wife, Tatiana Kasakina, said outside the court, "He and I created Memorial together, but the most important thing that we have created is a team that will work regardless of whether Oleg is free or not."